What's up, people? It's your boy. What's up? Yeah, I don't know what was going on. The timer didn't go off right. Yeah, I'm not going to make people wait an additional 5 minutes before we go live. We're live. Please let everybody know that we're live. This is going to be a very important episode. I'm not. This is not clickbait. This is not me trying to get views. As you know, as the people that are closest to my content know, that's the last thing on my mind. No, this is this is a extreme level event here, as far as MM2K is concerned. So we're going to talk about it. So I thank everybody for being here. Appreciate all of y'all as always. Hit that like button. Please share this out. Let everybody know. Definitely, they're not going to want to miss this. Let me just get into the right discords so I can tweet this out to the right people. Let's see here. Where we at? I want to get into prognosis. There we go. Now you can see my avatar. And let's get over here. Let me see. I'm gonna put this right here. Boom. There we go. And then I'm gonna go over here to the Stadia joint right here. Where is that? I can't ever find this damn thing. All right. And we're gonna put this right here. Boom. Like so. All right, there we go. Good to see everybody as always. Thank you very much. I just got a few more places that I want to plop this. If it allows me to do so, the gaming groups. I'm just going to put it in the Stadia gaming groups for now. So all my Stadians can see that we're live. I see y'all out there in the chat. What's up, everybody? What's up, my Division 2 heads? Season 10 finally out. I wanted to get into some of it today, but it just didn't work out today. I got this weird stomach thing that's happening, y'all, and it's been bothering me all week. So maybe that can attest to my mood today and why you're going to hear some of the things that you're going to hear from me today. Maybe not. I normally have a good, believe it or not, I have a good handle on my emotions, and I don't go out and say things, even the most controversial things. I don't say things unless I mean it, and I really think it needs to be said. I am going to say some things that a lot of you are not going to like. But if I can quote my good friend Brian had so many names, formerly of the, was that Stadia Avengers, when we used to do that show all the way back in 2020. Was that Club Stadia? He had the various different shows and all this stuff. Shout out to Brian. And he came out with I forgot the name. He came up with various different brand names for his Stadia content. And shout out to him. I haven't talked to Brian in a while. I don't know what he's doing. Always been a good guy to me. That being said, one of his latest videos that he did on your boy, it was about a year ago. He said, you may not like what MM2K has to say, but he says what you need to hear. And that's the truth. Shout out to whoever just followed. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for that follow, man. Let me do this. Hold on. Where is my... I want to make... Because I don't want any disruptions to anything that... All right. To anything that I put out here. So let me close that. Now let me get back to the chat. Let me see what y'all buzzing about. You got this, says Mugen. Shout out to you, Mugen. Dusty says, yo, yo, yo. N7 Spectre says, hi. We got the homie L Boogie says, what's the deal? I'm going to miss this because I have to go back to work. Hey, L, it's cool, bro. Just don't miss that VOD. Don't miss that VOD. And now your mama knows says, okay, the Cowboys in the building. Currently playing as I watch it. That's what's up, man. I'm going to be playing it right after this because I'm going to have to say, I got to say what I have to say. Then I'm dropping the mic and then I'm playing games. I'm not going to get involved in this silly foolishness from all angles. It's coming from all angles, and I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. This is no stunt. This is no ploy. I'm putting it out there. Look, life is too good. Life is too short. I came here with a singular purpose, and in the beginning of 2022, I said I felt like I was being pulled from that purpose and being pulled into muck. You know what I'm saying? And I said a lot, and I pointed to the crowd. I said a lot of you. You know what I'm saying? Is the ones that's pulling me into, like, I'm not here for the drama. The drama was a byproduct of me making sure that the truth stood over the bogusness, but I'm not here for the drama. You know what I'm saying? And then and we made our changes, and then people decided like, well, okay, well, if you ain't gonna be with the drama, then we gonna roll. We want to go where the drama's at, you know, and that's fine. And so we had our people that still came by here and there to hear this, that, and the other, came for the show, came for SSC when we aired it, whatever, and came for our new content with Squid, our fantastic content with Squid and CGR and the new stuff we got planned. They come to peek and see what's going on here, or the videos that we got for the articles. But the true diehards are the members. The members are the ones that know that they gonna get that authentic MM2K. And that's where we're going to go with it, because we had to put that wall up to avoid all the silly drama. I'm not here for the drama. I'm not here for clicks. I'm not here to for y'all to wipe down my cape or my shoulders or whatever. I'm here to educate and to inform and to make sure that when there's fiction out there, we make sure that the truth gets put over the fiction. That's it. That's it. All this other stuff y'all got going on, entertaining all this silly, crazy stuff and spotlighting it and battling back and forth. Nah, buddy, not here. So this is going to be a milestone podcast just for MM2K content with the community, period. All right. So with no further ado, I think, no. Oh, I didn't shout out everybody. God, this goddamn on Mike Court almost make me spill my drink. The man from Uncle is just listening in a while, watching champion. That's what's up, bro. We got Marco Blackman says stadium slipping on no new sports games. FIFA? Yeah, man. Yeah, Marco, you're not a member for a reason. Oh, Marco, yeah, all right. Hey, L, don't even give him the energy, L. Don't even give him the energy. Cause here's what's going on, man. And I can dig it. A lot of y'all that are part of the Stadia hate brigade, that are angry, instead of moving on, like y'all should rightfully do. I don't tell y'all anything that I ain't done myself. I've been in the bag where you've been at. I've been there with Xbox. When I first got on the Xbox, XYZ was promoted to me. Changes were made. Now they doing ABC. I always felt like I felt slighted as a foundational person that did XYZ, you know, that was into XYZ. And I always fought and tried to fight with the brass for them to bring back that XYZ element. They're not going to do it. It's not going to be the same. They on their own bag now. They on this Game Pass bargain thing, bargain bin thing. Fine. We're going to give you the games. We ain't going to talk about the quality though on the cloud. We're not going to talk about the mispromises of the console. This is supposed to be the world's most powerful console. But it's splitting hairs with the PlayStation, which I can get for $100 cheaper. Yeah, you gave me the $300 version, but the $300 version, that's you know what I'm saying, that's not even hitting benchmarks that Stadia can hit. Come on now, at $300, like stop it. And I'm not saying every game is like that, but there's games that is not even hitting the benchmarks that Stadia's hit. Like, come on, stop it. So I get where you coming from. I've been there years. And I've spent tens of thousands of dollars. Hey, yo, shout out to Cowboy. I'm gonna keep it real. Cowboy, I heard you with your rhetoric. Hey, I spent $130 today and 2 Chico sticks on Stadia this week. Get out of here, cuzzo. Get out of here. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on Xbox. Tens. Through almost 2 decades that I was there. So trust me, I know where y'all coming from to see and expect one thing, and then circumstances change, and now a different course is happening. There's no denying it. That when Stadia first launched, that they said the groups that we're going after are the hardcore tech enthusiast that understands 4K 60 and those that have been disenfranchised from games. And there's no doubt about it that the tech enthusiasts, you know what I'm saying? They've been dismayed by some things. Output isn't what they're not getting 4K, they're not getting performance mode and all that other stuff. And those are complications with the developers that Stadia didn't foresee, because the OG staff with what's his name? Oh man, I want to call him Justin Powers, or what's it? John Justice. With John Justice and them, they had this belief system that they were going to get 1 million active users. That was going to be enough to impress developers, and developers would work out those kinks willingly. And that didn't happen. So they had to change course. There's no denying that. They had to change direction. They had to pivot. We've been talking about that since early 2021, right? So I get it. But by lingering on, and what I mean by lingering on is I've been there. I've been gaming for 35 plus years. Y'all can't fool me with this silly crap. Well, no, I still like it. It's just that I want this and I want that. Stop it. Stop it. You're not fooling anybody but yourself. If every time you bring up or something, and the overwhelming majority of what you have to say, and this is coming from the bottom of your heart, I don't believe that most of these people that are doom and gloom, canoe, whatever you want to call them, I don't believe that they don't believe the stuff that they're saying. I true-heartedly feel like they believe it, that they are dismayed with the platform. You cannot be that dismayed with something when you're bringing it up, that much amount of negativity consistently, and still be happy with it. That's when it becomes a you problem. When you start complaining and sucking your teeth more at the product than you are just simply playing and enjoying it. That's when you got to do it. What's that? You got to let it go. That's when it's a you problem. It's a them problem when they don't deliver and they waffle and say, oh, we're going to give you this and we're going to give you that, and it don't happen. Then as a consumer thing, you get up there, you stand up, you talk, and oh, you know, I prefer this. But after a consistent amount of time of you not getting what you want or what you expect, and then you still settle for it, but you're complaining about it because you're truly not happy, that's a you problem. There's nothing intelligible that you have to share with me because it makes no sense. It's like walking into a restaurant that you used to like. Let me give you an example. No, I'm gonna do better. There's this food truck by me and my wife's house. My wife went to school with the guy that owns the food truck. Real nice guy, love him. When my grandson plays football up at the field by our house, he's always there giving food. Everybody know this guy, they love this guy. And the food from the food truck is bomb, it's banging. However, me and my wife went to the food truck the other day. Just got some, got our food truck bill $25. We ain't spending a whole, what's it called, amount. We ate the food. The next day we got sick. My wife is fine now. I haven't been right since. This is this weekend. Guess what? We're no longer going to the food truck. Because we don't trust the food truck is going to be able to give us what we want. Serve our expectations. If you have let me share something with you guys. As someone that has over 25 plus years of Fortune 500 experience, and I'm not trying to down talk anybody else or what you do. Whatever you do, if you like it, I love it. But when you see a Fortune 500 company consistently not do what you or a swath of people are begging them to do, guess what? They ain't gonna do it. Newsflash! They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna be able to do. They're not doing it. They may do it later, may come in the future. They're not doing it now. If you stay, that's a you problem. I've been there. I've been there with Xbox. And I had to realize, okay, this is the direction that the company wants to go. It's no longer for me. I'm no longer going to give them my money in belief that my Xbox Live subscription got me a seat at the boardroom table, and therefore I can utter and yell things and cast decisions on this product. No. Newsflash, someone with 25 years plus of Fortune 500 experience. And I say that, like I said, y'all ain't gonna like me today. Bring out the pitchforks, put the MM2K symbol on there with the 2 X's and throw darts on it. All you want to grab your tomatoes and your cabbages, throw it at my avatar. You're not gonna like me today, but it's gonna be the truth. Like what Brian said, you may not like what I gotta say, but it's what you need to hear. I flaunt my experience because too many of you on the other end of this microphone fell for the thesis of the Business Insider article, not knowing that there were major contingencies within that article that just didn't make business sense. And y'all gobbled it up. Some of y'all even showed up in my streams talking about, MM2K, what are we doing? Why is you down in the Business Insider article? What are we doing? Why are we standing for Stadia like this? Meanwhile, months later, the whole mantra of that article has been blown to bits because Stadia is expanding. They're still getting AAA games. Still growing, still mentioned at the top echelon with the top cloud platforms. When the top cloud platforms that are engaged are mentioned, it includes Stadia. So that whole mantra that there's like 5 people in the supply room trying to figure out a way to put on some superhero costumes and save Stadia is bullpucky. And I'm going to share some more bullpucky with you today. But if you continue to, but again, I say all that not to say that you should like Stadia. You have to like Stadia. You like what you like. I've never been a proponent for forcing people to like or appreciate Stadia. You don't have to. That's never been my argument. My argument is your case isn't everybody else's case. Don't talk with a broad brush or try to paint everything with a broad brush or lie, as we're going to see, to prove your point. Now, what we have, unfortunately, is we have some news that, I mean, I get it. Because of the peculiar weird and really, look, to be frank and honest, the untrustworthy way that a lot of Stadia game update news comes, people even with the latest Axios revelations, even with the revelations a few hours ago, where the reporter said, no, I reached back out to to the PR firm and got reconfirmed that it's not slotted for Stadia at the moment. I get it. Even after that, people still are like, well, you know what? I'm going to wait even further. I get it. Because of the unorthodox way that things have happened with Stadia communication. We just saw with Saints Row, where again, same thing happened. PR information was out there. People contacted PR, was told one thing, come to find out because of the odd, peculiar things of Saints Row stuff being discovered here and there, that it was coming, right? In other situations, like with Dying Light 2, where we saw code for Stadia and the website and all this other stuff, and Stadia was being referenced and it got removed, it didn't come to fruition. So we don't know which case this is, and that is the peculiar nature of the communications from the partnerships and some of the safeguarding that Stadia is responsible for and should be doing a better job at. That's the end result of all that. There's no denying that. So the communication is bad. I put the onus on Ubisoft. I'm gonna get into that, but there's still some things that Stadia could do to try to make the situation somewhat better, even though I feel the onus is on Ubisoft. So I get that. My stance at the moment is it's not coming. And frankly, I don't care about that game because it's not their standard AAA experiences. That's what I'm expecting from Ubisoft. It's a $50 game, and as of Skull and Bones, their AAA mainstream experiences are going to be $70. So if this is a $50 Assassin's Creed game, I don't know what's going to be in this or what's going to be missing. So it's not one of the big whoop-to-doop installments. That's personally why I don't care, but I care about Heartlands. Now, a lot of people may not agree with me, but after this whole hoopla with Assassin's Creed Mirage, I started noticing that the name references from Stadia and Luna were taken from Heartlands. I got concerns with that. We'll talk about that. But I get it. I don't like the communication around this, and I'm not oblivious to that. And for those that are upset and keep the discussion around, you know what? I don't like the communication. It's very off-putting, and it's off-putting to the point to where I and others might abandon the platform. I can dig that. I can dig discussions around, okay, I get that this may be their strategy, but I don't like it, and I don't think it's going to work. And therefore, by attrition, by it not working, I don't know how long Stadia will last as an option. Okay, you want to have that argument, fine. But the creepy little stinky, slimy little thing that people are trying to re-inject and they're being successful at, which is not, I don't blame them. I blame you for it being successful. We'll get into that. So I said, you're not going to like me today. There are some issues with that I'm going to address, because there are some people that innocently are not the wiser. And I'm going to take this last ditch effort to gingerly, as best as gingerly can be applied to MM2K, especially now because you can tell I'm on one, gingerly address the misinformation that's out there. But I warn you, even if you're new, or if you know somebody that's new, you better tell them where to go for Sanctum, because MM2K is not going to be out there with the light pole anymore. You better just know where to go, because this is getting out of hand. This is really getting out of hand. All right. Before I go any further, let's see what y'all got to say here in the chat. Shout out to my homie Ray Sherrod, part of the CGR group. Man, classy bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? He said, let me find out MM2K is keeping it real. Colin said, preach to us. Chariot Man Gaming said, what's going on, MM2K? Hey, yo, Geek to Sneak in the house. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing, Marco. You are hating because and as I'm going to illustrate perfectly today, all this focus and ire is on Stadia. But this is bigger than Stadia. This is a cloud gaming problem. This should be the thing where we're putting our flags and our pitchforks to the side, and we should be getting together as gamers and heading up to Ubisoft's office like, yo, what's going on here? But no, because people gotta prove this slimy, stinky point that really just doesn't exist in reality so bad that now our focus is all over the place. I ain't got time for it. So look, if you're gonna do it. Live up to it. This is not the place to throw rocks and hide your hands, Marco. If you are what you are. If you're a Stadia hater, hate it proudly. Hate it proudly. None of these cloud platforms have all the games that people are looking for. They're a 1% business. There's games that this one has that the other one don't have. There's games that Stadia has that the other ones don't have. There's games that they have that Stadia don't have. It's across the board with all of them. And I'm not just talking about Jimmy and John and them's pick up the pong. I'm talking about AAA games. We're gonna get into that in a little bit too. But if you hate it proud, don't throw stones and hide your hands here. I don't know if it's a Nintendo exclusive or not, but did you see Octopath Traveler 2? Yeah, that would be a dope addition anywhere. Yeah, I'm ready for that too. I'm with you, brother. Food trucks getting expensive. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And they got the nerve to be expensive and poison a mug, man. I'm about to DoorDash. See, DoorDash is kind of, whoo. I had to leave them alone, man. Look, the other day I ordered, here's what happened. The other day, I spent $25 on coffee and cinnamon cake. Here's what happened. I got my money back eventually, but I ordered a cold brew. Cold brew was $5. And I ordered coffee cake. Coffee cake was like $3 something. So you're talking about $9, maybe $10, right? So they brought the coffee cake, no cold brew. And when I looked at the ticket, they just took the cold brew out. The cold brew was on my thing, they took it out. So that delivery was $13. No, that delivery was $10, just for coffee cake. So then when I ordered the cold brew, that delivery was $13, you know what I'm saying? So, and I tipped the first person $2 on the $10 delivery. I ain't tipped the second person. I'm sorry, baby, when I get my money back, I'll tip you. You know what I'm saying? I'll look you up and I'll send you a tip. I said, but I can't tip you right now because these mugs did the okie dokie. $25. I can't do the Uber Eats and the DoorDash. No, man. And then plus I'm trying to buy my grandson a car. That's our next thing. That's part of the reason why, you know, even though when Vlad TV said what he said yesterday, it was really off the wall about gamers being depressed and people not prioritizing things. Like, I love games. I love talking about them. I love playing them. Y'all know that. But I'm not going to let it get a hold of my life. And what I don't want to do is I'm not going to spend hours every day playing 50 First Dates with y'all. I'm not going to do it. I mean, literally. And people may not want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you the stone cold truth. Before I go live, I don't just go live and talk and ramble for 3 hours. My total investment in every single podcast is at least 5 hours. Why? Because I thoroughly investigate and research everything that I talk about. This is a fact-based show. So I don't just grab a mic, be in a Discord, talking to some people. No. We thoroughly investigate. There's so many things that after our investigation, they had to hit the chopping block because they were, they weren't what we thought they were. And we go through all that for you so we don't inadvertently misinform you. At least 5 hours total. Do I want to keep doing that? If Y'all can't remember the facts that I tell you, but verbatim, you can tell me some bull crap somebody said about Stadia's dying tomorrow. Did y'all remember? No, I don't want it. No, I don't want to keep doing that. I don't. No, and I'm not. But y'all gonna get this coming to Jesus speech from me today before I shut the lights off. Y'all gonna get it. It's foolishness. The Scientist, what's up, good brother? Putting out them good articles for StadiaDosage.com. I like that the news where of gaming's coming from, but people hang to the ones that aren't as the actual news. Skulls and Bones trailer just uploaded on the Stadia channel. Geek the Sneaks in Heartland is what I can. Yeah, but that's what I'm talking. Yo, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Like, I'm like, yo, what's the deal? And I said yesterday in the tweet, matter of fact, here, let me, cause y'all hear me going off, and I don't think y'all understand. So let me put it to y'all like this. Just so y'all understand. Okay. Like I said, I get it. I don't like the communication around this. I feel it's horrible from Ubisoft for their unclear directives since the weekend. And like I said before, I do feel that Stadia could have helped a little by putting some message out there. Like something like, look, we hear y'all concerns about Mirage. We don't have anything to release right now. As soon as we do, we'll get back to you. Just stay to our Discord or that lets us know that you hear this groundswell. You understand the importance that this groundswell is creating, because I do get it. This is a chink in the armor versus Ubisoft, your most reliable AAA source on the platform. That means something. So I get a groundswell about it. I just don't like the sleazy other accusations that are trying to creep their way back in, that have no space in this discussion. You know what I mean? Now, ultimately, I feel this is a question over Ubisoft's continued support of the cloud, not just Stadia. Because here's the reality. Since all this, we have no Mirage being confirmed for Stadia or GFN. And I get that, oh, well, GFN, they normally broadcast this later. And normally for Stadia, they mess stuff up and it's coming later. That doesn't matter. The PR comments that we got right now said the only cloud platform is confirmed for is Luna. But that's not it. There's no Luna for Skull and Bones. If you're paying for Luna Plus on, you know what I'm saying, to access, I mean, if you're paying for Ubisoft Plus to access it on Luna, how ain't you getting its biggest game? And you're paying $17.99. And then, as we just mentioned, no Stadia or Luna now listed for Heartlands. They removed all reference from Stadia and Luna from the official page when you sign up for the beta, where it was there before. I know, because I was thinking, like, do I want to try this on Stadia? And I picked PC. It's always with Ubisoft's betas, when they first release, it's always best to pick PC. That's how you get the fastest access. Anyway, this is a cloud thing. This was supposed to be the moment. This is where I'm really done. I'm just done. This was supposed to be the moment. Like, we're supposed to be done with all that Stadia's dead crap and all that other stuff. You can argue the effectiveness of their approach or whatever, but all that Stadia's dying, or is it dying? That's supposed to be dead now. And anybody that still echoes that crap is not to be entertained or be taken seriously, at least for that moniker. And look what y'all are doing, the complete opposite. This was supposed to be the moment that gamers got together and said, yo, Ubi, whoa, hold on. What's going on? Break this down for us. What are you doing? Has Tencent got something to do? What's going on? Because all I know is I'm paying $17.99 to access this thing primarily on the cloud, and now you holding this game from these set of gamers and this game from that set this was supposed to be the unifier, even if temporarily. And y'all bringing up old rhetoric from 2020 that Paul Tassi and Tom Warren used to excrete. What are y'all doing out here? I don't want no parts of this. None. It's just ridiculous. I want no parts of it. People are actually entertaining the argument. Look, there's going to be people that are going to say what they're going to say. They just have this stubbornness about them that they just got to prove this point. And as long as they can keep the discussion going, they feel like it's a victory. Let them do that. You ain't got to entertain it. You people are actually entertaining this whole Stadia is dying thing. This is pathetic. Therefore, this is going to be a milestone moment for me and how I engage publicly from here on out. Look, I get it. A lot of y'all are new. You're brand new to this. You came back to gaming, so you're still wet behind the ears on how some things happen. I be hearing some of y'all arguments. I chuckle and huckle. I laugh. I had people DMing me and telling me, oh no, Microsoft would never do that. And I just laughed at it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing this since 2005. Been doing it more thoroughly and thoroughly and thoroughly as the years come on. This isn't just something to talk about to me. It's something that I thoroughly research. I've talked to developers. I've been on shows where people from the highest echelon, Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, because of the content that we were talking about on the shows, us specifically, they would go out on Twitter and talk to us publicly out on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I've been part of that. And I knew what I was dealing with when I came here. And when I would bring up things like NPD, and your eyes look like deers in headlights. I knew that a lot of you were wet behind the ears. And a lot of it was you just didn't know better. You were just running off of emotions and fumes. But that was 2020. This is 2022 now. 2 years later. And we're still going through the same moments, the same cycles. I don't have the patience. I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm not going to be your savior. Some of you just don't want to be saved nor need to be saved. By me sitting there repeating the same things over and then showing the proof to you over and over again, only for you to just drop the evidence like it's some fragile piece of glass and get all engrossed in this silly stuff, just proves that I'm wasting my time in certain regards. And I need to focus on the people where this will stick with and stick to, and it will actually benefit them. I'm not here for the racquetball back and forth. I'm here to spread facts for those that truly want them. And for those that truly want them, they know where to find me, and they know where to get MM2K content in its purest form, and they're doing that right now. We're doubling down on that starting today. You know what I'm saying? Like, the conversations here in the public are just going to get more general. And I was having a conversation with another content creator off the cuff, and they were bringing up to me, they were like, yeah, I remember when StadiaDosage was raw, man. Y'all was sitting there bringing that raw hype and this, that, and the other. And I get it. And yes, we would go out there every day and say the same thing, and people would be cheering, yeah, go MM2K, yeah, go. But just as quick as I would tell them, they come back with some foolishness that they remember verbatim. And I would say, well, what did we just talk about? You were in the chat. What did we just talk about in the show? Oh, well, but they said, but hold on. I just armed you with information. Why didn't you take that information that I armed you with and smash what they said? What is going on here? But they said out their mouth, smash it in their mouth if you got to. What are you doing? What is we doing here? Are you just looking for, I don't know. I don't know what you're looking for. Oh man, it's just doomful and gloomful, man. Oh, we just gave you AK-47s, rocket launchers, torpedoes, all that stuff. We just armed you to the T. And you coming back to me, yeah, man, they got sticks and rocks. What are we to do while you holding a rocket launcher? What? What am I talking about? Prime example. Let me show you something. All right. So during this confusion of all this stuff, and shout out to Stephen Tutilo. Let me say something else too. People ain't gonna like me today. Just because people question news or information that may come from a journalist, it doesn't mean that that's a full-throated attack on the journalist. I haven't seen anybody in any serious swap. Yeah, you're gonna find one-offs here and there. I just had somebody send me a picture of a dead squirrel. I don't know if they smashed its head themselves or they bit it off and said, MM2K, this is you. Da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna blame an entire sector of the Stadia community for that. So I'm not talking about these one-off situations. I have not seen swaths of people go after Stephen Tutilo. What I've seen people do was question the news that was being reported. And nobody's beyond reproach, not even me. I go to the Stadia Reddit and they got that little smart-ass comment, oh, here comes a message sponsored by StadiaDosage. You know what I'm saying? And I chuckle and I give it back to them and then they disappear because they can't handle it. You know what I mean? But nobody's beyond reproach, including me. So if people again are concerned or still are questionable about the state of affairs because of how weirdly the things transpired around this game, I'm not going to be mad at them. I'm not going to be mad at them if they say, well, you know what? I even need something beyond this. People are doing it for GFN. The statement says it's not coming to any other cloud platform, and you still got people out there. Well, but GFN, they don't normally say nothing until 25 minutes before it launches. No, read the statement. If the statement applies for Stadia, it applies for GFN too. Until further notice. But I put this out here. Let me make this bigger for the people in the back. No Mirage on Stadia, possibly GFN also. I'm also noticing omissions of both Stadia and Luna from Heartlands, Luna from Skull and Bones. What's happening to Ubisoft's previous roundabout support? Below is fine for Mirage, but Ubisoft needs to provide more answers ASAP. So this is me saying, look, there's definitely a problem. But if we look at this from 5,000 feet, this is a problem that potentially speaks to Ubisoft's connection to the cloud and the promises they made prior to the cloud. What's going on? What's one of the first responses I got? Really? So no new hardware and now Ubisoft is leaving the boat? Google Stadia only. Sounds like real bad news. So I responded, I like how you skimmed and focused on what you wanted to. All cloud platforms appear affected. Luna only getting Mirage, Stadia and Luna removed from Heartland, Luna removed from Skull and Bones. Here goes creating his own reality. Nope, because the other ones don't rely on a dedicated port of the game. GFN can use PC version of Microsoft can use Xbox or PC. I'm not trolling Stadia just to support. Stop. We're talking to cloud gamers about cloud gaming. So the assumption has to be made, especially if we're talking about Stadia's target demo, then the assumption has to be made that these people don't have access to newer consoles or any other way to game, period. Because that's the target demo that Stadia is approaching. I said, what difference does it make? If the only way to play is via GFN or xCloud and the version is not approved, you know, come on. This is cloud gaming, a 1% business, plus most consistent users only use the cloud. So help me better understand the logic. So here we go. I don't have any argument that makes any sense, but I'm going to show you that because I bought a Stadia, you know, at launch, that I'm actually a board member now. So you got to take everything that I say as gospel. He says, I like Stadia for the moment. I'm a Stadia player, but if no hardware upgrade for better performance and Ubisoft is not putting AAA games, I bought my game on the wrong platform. I'm not a troll. So, and the reason why this is ridiculous is because, look, and I just discovered it last week because I was going to do some special testing that required me to do it on Xbox. I still have an Xbox. I can pull out my Xbox gamer tag, and any of you that sit there and say, oh, I love Xbox now, Xbox, I'll destroy and dismantle any of you. I'll smash you all to smithereens. Exception to Project Storm, Ninja Guy X, and likely Ray Sherrod. The rest of you, I'll destroy you. And any Xbox litmus out there. That being said, y'all know how I feel about Xbox. I don't try to mask it at all. Now, if I go and pull out my Xbox experience and say, well, look, I'm a player of Xbox, and I do have an active Game Pass, even though I don't use it, because I merged all my Xbox Live into Game Pass. So from now on, I can't activate Xbox Live. I gotta activate Game Pass, but whatever. So I have an active Game Pass subscription. Shout out for Rock2's 2017 for becoming a member. Appreciate it, my good friend. But yeah, I haven't, but y'all know how I feel about Xbox. Y'all heard all the things I've said about Xbox, and it wasn't nice. So y'all know I'm not a fan of the platform. I can be transparent about my own biases and be honest and upfront about it. I have no place trying to flaunt my purchase of Xbox and my usage of it as a qualifier of why I'm just truly a concerned fan. That's BS. There's Xbox fanboys that own PlayStations just because. PlayStation fanboys that own Xboxes just so they can make that argument. I've been doing this for too long. Get out of here with that. Stop it. But again, you see how they brought all that? What are we doing? We're using the armaments that we have at our disposal. I said, let's not go into the weeds. I didn't ask you if you were a troll. I didn't ask about hardware. I provided statistics and how your issue spells doom for the average. I asked how your issue spells doom for the average cloud gamer only for Stadia. I got time. I didn't entertain. I'm not entertaining that this is a Google Stadia problem. I'm not even entertaining that. It's a cloud problem. So you're not pulling me out in the weeds. I don't care if you got an agenda that you want to serve because you look silly after the Mexico expansion and we got Saints Row and Dead Island 2 was announced. I don't care if you think this is your last hurrah to keep the Stadia's dead car. I don't care. We're not playing those games here. What do you got now? Well, Ubisoft is the one providing real AAA games on Stadia, and they're doing it properly. If they stop putting their game or begin to play with exclusivities, it's such a loss for us. It's a loss for everybody. Everybody's losing games. everybody. What are you talking about? Here was the death blow. Because I ain't got time. And I got the armaments. And I'm not going to entertain your silly arguments. I said Stadia still has X-Defiant, Avatar, Trackmania, Skull and Bones coming. What are you talking about? Again, please help me understand. 2, it's the real Death Note. According to the same report, Ubisoft doesn't even consider Mirage one of their big AAA installments. Read. And this comes from the same author. Note his phrasing, by the way, big AAA games. Assassin's Creed Mirage pitched as a smaller AC game and will retail for $50. What was their final gasp, or what was their last words? Who? I thought they was their next big Assassin's Creed. and shout out to Dad Plays Games. I let Dad Plays Games over to. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That's what y'all should be doing out there. Not entertaining this stupid stuff and putting it on the same level as reasonable arguments. Ubisoft, what's going on? Stadia, why ain't you saying anything? Yo, Ubisoft, you still expect me to play $17.99 when I got to play whack-a-mole to understand which game is coming where? You must be crazy. Y'all must be out your cotton picking mine. No. This was our moment. This was our moment. And for me, hey, you know, whatever. It was my biggest sign of what I need to do next. Cause y'all ain't even like, even y'all can say what y'all want about mainstream gamers. Y'all can say what y'all want about them. And I don't like mainstream consoles. I don't like well, no. Let me stop. Let me not put it. Let me not be that outlandish. I don't prefer mainstream consoles or hardware. It's too much friction. And yes, there's a lot of vile and vicious and mean things that they say to each other. But I'm gonna tell you 2 things that are done with them that have yet to happen here. And it's very disappointing. Thing number 1 is, hold on 1 second. Thing number 1 is the content creators can fight out in public and throw jabs and do all this other stuff. But yet behind the scenes, whether they agree on their favorite platform or not, they can all get together and help each other out. It ain't the vicious and vile stuff that I've seen here over in this community. There's some very vicious and unbelievable things. So that's number 1. With all that crazy yo mama and F this and N that and all that you may hear out there, when they get behind this, it's like wrestling. When they get behind the scenes, it's all love. They're sharing each other. Hey, yo, check out this news. So-and-so, you know what I'm saying? And sharing news with each other. We may crack jokes on each other, but they're sharing news and helping each other out. We talking the biggest, staunchest Xbox fanboys and the biggest, staunchest PlayStation fanboys. That's number 1. Number 2, when it's time to put down the flags and unite, they put down the flags and unite. Like, for instance, when Assassin's Creed Valhalla first came out, there wasn't going to be a 60 frames per second mode on consoles. Nobody tried to orchestrate it or put smoke and mirrors up and make it seem like that, oh, this was a bad thing for only Xbox or this was a bad thing for PlayStation. No. With all the violent vitriol that goes back and forth in the console wars, they put down their flags, they band together, and they said, oh, hell no. We're not paying $60, possibly $70, and we done buy $500 new consoles, and we ain't getting no 60 frames per second mode. The devil is a lie. Y'all better get y'all asses back in the studio and figure it out. And guess what? They got their asses back in the studio and they figured it out. That was supposed to be our moment with this. Again, I don't prefer GFN. I don't prefer Luna. But the thought that a cloud gamer who prefers any of those platforms would pay $17.99 or $14.99 if you're just doing it on GFN, because you get to bypass that extra $2.99, which is cool, whatever. But we'll be paying anywhere between $15 to $18 who only can game on the cloud. And now they got to play Magic 8 Ball on which games are coming to the platform that they prefer, that they're invested in. This is an Ubisoft problem. Does it affect Stadia? Yes. Does it affect Luna? Yes. Does it affect GFN? Yes. And all this talk about, well, Luna got an exclusive deal. I'm not buying that right now for two reasons. Number one, Luna, again, is being omitted from Ubisoft projects as well. They're not still on Skull and Bones. They're not still on Heartlands, right? And trust me, as much as Amazon Luna likes to stick the knife into Stadia, they would be screaming from the rooftops if they had an exclusive deal worked out. So everything is telling us, from what we know that Ubisoft has presented and released, that they're pulling back on their stance with cloud gaming. That's a dangerous prospect for all of us. Now's the time to put down the pitchforks. Stop with the rhetoric. Stop trying to, I prove my point over you, haha. And band together as gamers. But I'm not going to force y'all to do that. Normally on an MM2K podcast, I would sit there and yell and scream and spit all over my pop filter. Man, F it. You do it, you do it, you don't, you don't. I'm going to be doing it. The MM2K clan is going to be doing it. The rest of y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all can argue if Stadia is going to die with whom, man, this sucks. While y'all holding the rocket launcher of truth, y'all sit there and let these mugs with sticks and stones come in and thwart you off of your access of information. I ain't got time for it no more. I ain't got time for it. So, all right. I am going to address some things, though, some misinformation that's being put out there in case you are a new gamer, right? But before I get into that, let me get back to some of this chat. Geek says you gave Vlad tweet too much energy. No, because here's why I did that. I think Vlad was doing a publicity stunt. He was definitely doing a publicity stunt, but he was doing it at the expense of gamers. And sometimes that can backfire, because you can think, oh, I'm going to get a lot, even though I'm going to get a negative response, I'm going to get a lot of response in it. I wanted to do my part to contribute and help make the response too over cumbersome, where I think it did. Because he go on radio silent. He first tried to tweet it and wear it as a badge of honor, but then he went radio silent about it and tried to just simply retweet people that agree with him. And then he tried an old trick to say, well, you know, I would have never knew that I would have got this many tweets from a thing about gaming as a deterrent to say, look, y'all, you know, in reference kind of like what you're referring to, Geek, like you're giving him more energy than, you know, than maybe you want, so let's stop. No. Prime example of that is, what's the guy's name? Max Hollerman or whatever. So Max from IGN put out that little snippet that said, hey, Paw Patrol's coming. It's coming to these platforms and it's coming to Stadia. And I'm sure that the 3 people on Stadia will enjoy it. And then he said, yeah, I said it. And if the 3 people on Stadia don't like it, come and say something to me. And he wanted the Stadia community to respond to him. But we responded to him in more abundance than he expected. And we did it in a way that I think made somebody say, okay, this is not what we wanted. This is not what we wanted. This is starting to fester into something that we can't control. And that's why I did that. I knew what his intentions were. But I wanted to contribute in it being over cumbersome. You know what I mean? And a lot of people did that. And I think now, as you saw the energy from a lot of big name people that came after him, along with all the small people that came after him, he's probably pissed off a group. I think he's realizing that he's pissed off a group maybe, and marginalized himself from a group that listens to music and does other things, but they probably won't listen to him anymore. I've never been the biggest fan of Vlad anyway, so, you know, but that just cemented it anyway. Any F up is going to mean Stadia is dead. Exactly. I can't pay for Ubisoft Plus when the game sales be so cheap. There should be a class action lawsuit against Ubisoft for the advertising of Ubisoft Plus. Hey, look, man. People may hear that and may say, oh, that's preposterous. Look, Ubisoft got to answer. Ubisoft got to answer with, you know, they got to say something. I feel. It was just too weird, too much confusion. And to me, it goes beyond Mirage. I don't care about Mirage. The bigger game is Heartlands. Heartlands ain't coming to Stadia, or it ain't coming to Luna. Like, I'll be honest with you. If it's not coming to Stadia, I'll be pissed. But I got Luna. I played on Luna. But now it's not coming to Luna. So now I got to play it natively because I don't have GFN. Well, I mean, I paid for GFN for my son, but I don't have it. Shout out to Coke 2017 for becoming a member, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. You won't be disappointed. He says, I canceled my Ubisoft Plus when they raised the price and I had an issue and I couldn't keep the low price. Oh yeah, when they added that $2.99 tag. MM2K in his bag today. Yeah, people ain't gonna like me, man. I mean, you know, I gotta keep it real, man. I look, what y'all gonna learn about me? I don't have a lot of patience. I don't like playing 51st dates. If I keep seeing the same mistakes being made over and over again, that's when the eyes roll in the back of my head and I start losing my patience. And I've lost my patience with this. Like this was a no-brainer. This was really a situation, and it was starting to look that way. Like Saturday and Sunday, it was starting to look like the community was like banding together and was like, yo, Ubisoft, what's going on? And I was really proud of the community. Pro Stadia, non-pro state, whatever. Because people was looking at this holistically like, yo, this is a problem for all of cloud gaming. I was happy. Y'all was making me proud. And then come yesterday, people had to start injecting the crazy Stadia's dying, making a Stadia thing, and y'all entertained it. And it turned into, it's like having a big piece of steak. I just squat over it and just took a long schlong over it. It's useless now. Unless you're gross and you still want to eat it, but it's useless now. What's up, Petter? What's going on? Good to see you. He says, I want that smoke. What about Xbox? Nick Gay. Hey, Nick, come on, man. I like you, Nick. Nick, wasn't you the one that tried to get me in trouble a couple of months ago? I like you, Nick. Also, Ubisoft doesn't consider GFN to be an actual cloud gaming platform as its PC. They consider them to be a partner. You know, but the thing is that the press release people were actually asked about GFN. And they said no. We don't have any answers for GFN. We don't, you know what I'm saying? So right now it's not coming to GFN until further notice. And when you go to the page of Mirage, normally now they've updated it to where if the platforms would, Luna and Stadia are the platforms, GFN is the partner, and you don't see GFN as a partner there. So by all intents and purposes, when that question was asked directly about GFN, they were referencing GFN and saying it wasn't coming near, regardless if they look at them as a platform or a partner. Heartland's coming to cloud, that's official. See, I don't know about that, Clive, because if we're going off the statement, cloud could be GFN. Cloud could be Xbox. There's rumors that, you know what I'm saying? And what I do know is all references to Heartlands on the page for GFN, for Luna and Stadia have been removed. Like there was a time during the beta access that you could sign up and be on a waiting list for Luna and Stadia for the beta. That's been removed. All references on the page have been removed. So it might be a case, Clive, like, how you can still go into the Ubisoft app and still see Stadia listed for Mirage. It may be something like that, unless there was a news source that came out recently. And again, I'm questionable about what they mean for cloud, especially if they're removing not just the listing of Stadia and Luna for the betas, but they remove the names from the page and they also remove the logos. The logos aren't there. So I think we have to chalk up Heartlands as another one. And again, that's why it's even more paramount to me that this is a cloud issue. You know what I mean? So, and this is where we as cloud gamers, I think we should, we should have. I'm not standing up for anybody to do anything. Them days is done. Y'all are grown ass people. If y'all want to sit there and argue why the world is flat when you have all the information in front of you that the world is round, then so be it. May the gods bless you. I'm not. We're going to have fathomable, facts-based discussions, and you know where to come and get them if you want them. It's funny how quickly people forget how rocky it was when Xbox first released, lacking games and such. 5 years from now, Stadia will be fine. Yeah, they don't have, look, this is why I said they're wet behind the ears. They don't have the lineage of me and Clive and others that have been, Clive has been in the industry. Handling contracts. Now on a hobbyist level, but I've been, I've been fortunate enough to come across some devs, some pretty important devs, have some great conversations with people and thoroughly researched this stuff since 2005 without skipping a beat. A lot of these people are just, they have no idea. So they're shooting from the hip, and that's fine. But if you want to be taken seriously in this game, which I knew coming to the community that there were just going to be some things that the community would be green about. But, sorry, we take a few steps back to take 10 steps forward. And it seems like we took a few steps back. All right, we took like 3 steps forward, but now we're going to take 4 steps back. All right, we take 5 steps forward, but then we're taking another 6 steps back. And by the time you look at where you started and where you're at, you're in the same vicinity. You're not moving anywhere. And like I said, even in the mainstream culture where it's vile and nasty, I can admit that. It ain't happening like this. This is asinine. I don't want no parts of this. None. None. I'm sorry, none. All right. So here's what I want to do now. I do want to do a favor. My as the final rites before we just shut the lights off and we go back. We go back in for a long time. I want to do something for those that are new that maybe don't know what to decipher fact from fiction, because things that are fiction are getting as much attention as facts. All right. So for the sake of not stirring up too much drama, I'm not going to name any names. I'm just going to address the things that have been being said, the things that I've heard and seen in the last 24 hours that are ridiculous, but people's right to be ridiculous. You're not, nobody's putting a gun to your head and forcing you to listen. That's what you're doing. So there was something written about Mirage, and the question was posed, DJ Vix just subscribed. Thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate you. Hold on one second. So the question was posed, well, does this mean that Stadia is dying? You know what I mean? It was a barrage of negative things about Stadia, which people, you can feel whatever you feel about whatever you want to feel. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. But it was a negative barrage about Stadia. And at first I was following through it and I said, okay, I mean, those are fair assessments. If these things weigh that much to you and make you more sour to the experience than positive, I get it. It was fair in that regard because you're sharing your experience. But then that's where they always got to go overboard. So then it led into, well, does this mean that Stadia is dying? And they're like, well, we don't know if it means that. It could, but this, that, and the other. No. You took a fathomable, negative, but fathomable approach and injected something that is factually unproven, period, and tried to slither that in there. And even though it's an op-ed, the moniker is, you can't deny the facts. Okay, so if you can't deny the facts, let's share them. Why don't we? I need to know why we're still talking about Stadia shutting down when they just announced a Mexico expansion for Stadia. We've seen evidence all over the place for a likely Turkey expansion. They're still picking up major games not even available on the competition. And again, this is not Puzzle Pill Popper. This is Saints Row, not on xCloud, not on Luna. Resident Evil getting additional content, not on Stadia, only on Stadia rather when it comes to the cloud. FIFA, only on Stadia. Skull and Bones, not on xCloud or Luna. Dead Island 2, only slotted for Stadia at the moment. Stadia was at Gamescom, and it's rumored that they're going to be at TGS to scout for more games. We've already heard from developers that said that their experience there was fantastic. We're in good hands. They told us via the GameIndustryBiz article last year after the first keynote that they're putting their heads down and they're doing the hard work to get games. They've invested a lot into the low change porting. We broke that news story here about how Alphabet went to Google, said, what is it that these developers need? We got to get better at getting these games over here. They explained it to Alphabet. Alphabet wrote a check, said, you get with Stadia, y'all figure this out, and hence the load change porting development process was born. And we're not officially there yet. But the purpose of that is to make it easier for games to come. Even though that process is not complete yet, but it's getting there. And to top it all off, still, because I don't listen to Frankie and Juju from around the way. They got a typewriter. I don't care about what they have to say. This is a free play. They can type or whatever and hit send or whatever they want to. I listen to the developers when it comes to what's being offered and what's available and what the future may look like. And when it comes to the financial side, I listen to the analyst, not Bobby Jew and them. Not Bebop and Skeedat. I don't listen to them. I listen to the analysts. And what did the analysts say? When talking about the top engaged cloud platforms, guess who's always mentioned? Whether it's Newzoo or whomever, it's always Stadia. Stadia is always mentioned. So again, I am not saying that Stadia is a perfect platform, and I'm not saying bringing up issues, especially if they mean something to you, don't matter. And if you feel like that you can talk to a group of people where they matter to too. But you don't gotta lie to kick it. What do I mean about lie to kick it? Well, also in that article, in the piece that was written up, something peculiar that caught my eye, that I didn't expect to see again, that I've seen over 1,000 times and I knew it was wrong, reared its ugly head. And I hate to do this, but I don't like when people are misled. So we got to do it. The ugly thing that was brought up was, well, let me read it. Let me see if I can find it. It says, and really, it's obvious that Google even knows this, and this pertaining to them not reaching 100 games. And really, it's obvious that even Google knows this. Months ago, the company quietly dropped the promise of bringing 100 titles to the platform from its various blog posts. And they share a snippet. They say, these are just a few of the 100 plus games expected to arrive on Stadia this year from publishers big and small. Here's the misleading part. We'd love to include a screenshot, but Google went as far as to remove the quote from previous posts. I give you Exhibit A. This is a snippet that I just pulled. Here's what it says. These are just some of the 100 plus games to arrive on the Stadia store in 2022. Find 200 plus titles now available in the Stadia store, including blah, 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 blah. That's always been there. I've seen it every time that this false claim was being made. I just didn't say anything. Again, people was like, oh, why are you hating on this one? Or why are you hating on journalists? No, just some of it ain't even worth addressing. Let them be in their own reprobate state of mind. I don't care. It's just if you're going to sit there and point fingers at me, we're going to open up your entire closet. That's all. But I don't care. You have the freedom to right and be wrong all you want. I'm just not buying it. Again, we'd love to include a screenshot, but Google went as far as to remove the quote from previous posts. These are just 100 plus games expected to arrive on the Stadia store in 2022. And no, I don't want to hear the argument, oh, well, I can't find that quote anymore. Look, The mantra that's trying to be sent is that Google knew from the very beginning that they weren't going to be able to reach 100 games. And they sit there and they made a claim to lie to people. Because what the mantra is being said is that they want to send out this false narrative that everything is business as usual and they're going to pull the plug. I'm going to say this, but I got to be careful about how I say this. It is false from the circles and lanes that have been throwing information that have been whizzing by me. That connotation is false. Just like the whole connotation about when I said earlier in the year that Stadia was only getting 20% of the investment from Google or whatever, or Alphabet. That was laughable. Sonny said it. I didn't hear the word laughable, but I heard it was false. That is false. The problem, or one of the scenarios that has whizzed by me, is that, and I think this has been spoke about publicly, but I'm still going to watch how I say this. That developers shifted their schedules for whatever reason. A slew of them shifted their schedules for when things are releasing in 2022 for Stadia. Now, if they shifted those schedules because of the low change porting, whatever the case may be, who knows? I guess we'll find out in due time. But a lot of those people shifted their schedules, and even when they shifted their schedules, everything was aligned still for 2022. It was still within the 2022 pipeline. Just things got shifted. Those are just one of the things that whizzed by me. Now, the fact that we have major efforts that don't get that info, or maybe they did, they just wanted to bypass it. But possibly we're going to assume they didn't get that information. We're not going to sit there and say that they got it and they just ignored it. We're not going to egregiously attach that to them. But the fact that they don't get this, and me, lonely MM2K, they got to hide the credit card from his wife when he's buying Stadia games. This whizzed by me. Shows you who has the right relationships established despite our size, and who's connected to the likely things that are coming about with the platform. So any name can be thrown at us all they want. People can sit there and say, oh, they're just a fanboy. When you look at our track record of the things that we say, and look at the track record of the things that are being said elsewhere, I feel good about our track record. If you look at the track record of the things that we announce in advance before it comes news, and you look at the track record of the things that they say that they proclaim is going to happen, I feel good about our track record. And guess what? It's been that way for the past 2 years. So if you want to entertain this silly stuff, that's not a them problem. That's a you problem. Let me give you an example. Say you're walking down the street and somebody's dog, no leash on it, they just left it sitting in the yard. Dog sees you, runs across the street, starts biting and gnawing at you. I see this going on, and I run down and I save you, separate you from the dog, take you to the hospital. We get you stitched up. You get released from the hospital. Now I'm like getting people together. I'm like, no, this ain't right. This is our neighborhood. These are our people. We don't want people just walking down getting mauled by dogs. We're going to deal with that owner. Hey, you owner, what the hell is your problem? Keep your dog on a leash. We're going to bring out all stops to deal with that person. And that person may say, oh, well, you know, you're jumping on me. I didn't tell the dog to bite or whatever. You know, no, you're responsible for the things that are attached to you. So now you need to do better. AKA, if you're a journalist or a writer or a content creator or whatever, you are responsible for the things that you cascade, and you need to be responsible with your words. Because people are looking at you as if you have an up on information, not just that you're revved up in your emotions. So if you have that going on, and that happens once, and then you decide to walk down the same street. You don't need to walk down the street, just like walking down the street. You do it again, it happens twice. Okay, we might come out again. Do the same thing. But after like time 4 and 5, we're going to start shaking our heads like, why do you keep walking down the street? And as many people may not show up. And at some point in time, I might just call the ambulance and let them take you to the hospital. Well, the equivalent to that in the Stadia community is we're on time 9,000. I'm no longer I'm not mad. I mean, I'm pointing it out so people are aware, so they know the truth. But I'm not mad at those that conveyed this information. Except for those that are not in the wiser, that are new. But for those of you that you are regular consumers of that, and what you'll do is you'll run to me and DM me, MM2K, look at this. Don't DM me anymore. Don't come over here with that trash. What did I inform you of that could counter that? Get the hell out of here. Just get the F out. Get out of here. I'm not taking you to the hospital this time. That's where I'm at with this. And when it comes to this, in case you think I'm capping and this, I photoshopped this or whatever. No, let me show you. That's always been here. On the February post, it's always been here. I knew exactly where to go because I was like, it was there on the Lake thing. I remember Lake. Let's click on Lake's post, February 28th, 2022. You scroll down. What does it say? Oh, these are just some of the 100+ games expected to arrive on Stadia store in 2022. Find 200+ titles now available on the store, Stadia store today. So, even though you may have been talking about another phrase that for whatever reason was taken out, who knows? They all haven't been wiped. By it being said that they all been wiped, it creates this image that, oh, Stadia was trying to pull the wool over our eyes. They lied to us, and they're secretly trying to pull the wool over our eyes and not tell us the truth. No, we don't know if that statement that is posted and what was written was removed. We don't know why that was removed, but this is still here. So I don't know why, where it says we'd love to include a screenshot. I don't know why you can't include a screenshot. I don't know, does foot in the mouth disease affect the use of your knuckles? I don't know, but it's still there, clear as day. It's been there since February. If this is what you want to entertain, so be it. I'm not. Do not put this on the same plateau of the vigorous fact-finding that I do on a routine, hours a day. Get away from me with that garbage. And I'm not mad at them because they do what they've been doing what they're doing. They've been the dog that's going to bite you. You You ain't got to go down that damn road. Get away from me with that trash. I'm sick of it. I've had it. I'm done. There's a couple more things I want to address though, real quick for those that don't know any better that are new. I heard somewhere where now all of a sudden Stadia more likely than not is not a good thing for small devs. Again, more ridiculousness and more foolishness. The arguments were, if I got them right, is there's examples of devs that lost money dealing with Stadia, and that Stadia only curates so many games a year, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's address the first thing, that there are devs that lost money on Stadia, and that if you're only a super small dev, can you benefit from Stadia and its business model? Let me show you something. This is from this year. And this is learn about our new Stadia partner incentives, and where we have two indie devs, but they're not small devs. These are not devs with two concurrent users. And there's nothing wrong with games like that, especially if we're talking about Steam, where there's just so many games on Steam. There's like tens of thousands of games on Steam, to where your game, if you're a small dev, can get lost on the sauce. And you're going to see more success, on platforms that have less clutter. You know what I mean? But the thing is that this model works for indie devs that are not single developer indie devs. Occupur Games, of the universally acclaimed Dark Side Detective series, said, we've launched two of our titles in the Stadia program recently, Grime and the Dark Side Detective. Despite being polar opposites in terms of content and genre, both perform well, both in terms of finances and player reception. Stadia Pro seems to be a benefit a wide variety of titles, regardless of style or replayability. See, I don't listen to Bobby and them from the Chicken Shack. I listen to the devs. Can we do something here? Let's do something real quick. Let's do a real fun exercise. Give me a moment here. I don't listen to Bobby and them's Chicken Shack. I listen to the devs. Let's pull them something real quick. Okay. What else we got here? Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. Interesting. All right, so let's do this. Let's just look at Dark Side Detective. Let's just look at one. All right. So these are the Steam charts. It's all-time peak 5 months ago. That's just 5 months ago. Again, the game came out in 2017. So it's five. Oh, Jesus Christ. Damn it. This goddamn cord. The game is 5 years old. Even after being 5 years old, and this is a one and done game, it still had a peak 5 months ago of 252 people. Within the last 24 hours, 40 people played it, right? So this is a game it's a small game that still, has just nominal indie legs. When we look at its ownership, it's estimated that in some regards, 90 as far as reviews, there's 94,000 to 237,000 reviews. Others places track it to 1.8 to 2.2 million. So this isn't a game that's made by a single developer. All right, what did they have to say again? We've launched 2 of our titles in Stadia Pro recently. Grime and Darkside Detective, and despite being polar opposites in terms of content and genre, both perform well, both in terms of finances and player reception. Stadia Pro seems to benefit a wide variety of titles regardless of style and replayability. Stadia Pro has consistently exceeded our expectations on both payout and player engagement. We have an active, passionate community of players for our titles. I don't listen to Jimmy Johns and them. I listen to the devs. And now, I'm not mad at Jimmy Johns and them. I'm just not buying what they're selling. But it's a problem if you are and you're sitting there pulling your hair out. Why are they saying this? Because they want to and they can. It's a free world. Get over it. Everybody's not going to like the platform that you like. Get over it. That's my advice to you. Here's my warning. Don't bring this crap to me. Don't tag me in it. Don't mention me. I don't want nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. I spend too much time researching conversations, talking facts and truth, getting that all together and putting that in a nice bow for the people that want it. I no longer have time to entertain people that have been here as long as I have, still entertaining this muck. Do not bring me in it. That's not a request. That's a demand. Don't bring me in it. Oh, try me and do it and watch how fast you get cut off. This is absurd. And we know this is ridiculous as far as a fact-finding basis is concerned. We know it is. So if you're sitting, and again, we know that at any given moment, the conversation will be brought back to Stadia is dying, Stadia is going to die, from those that just have a stubbornness to bringing that in. We know that. We should be educated on that. Why are we still here mentally, emotionally? This is a cloud gaming thing right now. And again, I'm not saying it's a cloud gaming thing and brush it off. No, this is a cloud gaming thing to where I want to go to my brethren and my sister that are on other platforms, and maybe we can band together and force a response out of Ubisoft. Why in the hell can't me and the Luna people play Heartlands? Why isn't Mirage available on Stadia or GFN? Why did the Luna people get slighted on Skull and Bones? Ubisoft, you gave us the impression that you were in it to win it when it comes to the cloud. What happened? Except y'all want to play these games. except you want to play these games. I'm not playing with y'all anymore. I'm officially done playing these games with y'all any further. Done. The other thing that I want to bring up too, and then we're going to move on and close out. Also I want to show what Outright Games said. From Outright, they make kid games. This is not a small studio. I believe we interviewed them. Yeah, we interviewed them, I believe. They make a lot of games that are family friendly, but it's not a small studio and they're on all platforms, right? Here's what they had to say. From the outset, Stadia Pro has felt like a natural fit for Outright Games and kids' video games in general. The accessibility of the platform, coupled with the Stadia's increased commitment to distributing quality, age-appropriate video games to families, has allowed our titles to thrive in their ecosystem. We have seen a fantastic amount of engagement with our games on Stadia already, with revenue that went above our expectations. As we expand our portfolio, we will continue to bring more opportunities to play great games in the cloud. Okay. So again, I don't listen to Ralphie T and them. I don't. Oh, I spilled. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me get my paper towel. I don't want to mess up my Stadia controller. Hold on. Woo! Oh, I didn't realize I got drink all over the place. I got drink all over the place. All right. You know what I mean? So, it's their right to say, post, comment, and discuss whatever they want. You don't have to indulge in it and then let it eat at you mentally. You know what I mean? It's just crazy that you all continue to do this and then want to put me in it. Hit me up, tag me, DM me. No, I don't want nothing to do with this. This is a waste of my time because I am gathering information for people that I don't have to do this. I don't like I've said this yesterday on Sound Off, and I hate to sound like a pompous ass, but let's keep it real. I've been blessed by the best. I have a beautiful life, a beautiful wife, despite any complications that we've gone through. Our kids are doing wonderful. Like I said, with, ventures, I just got off the phone with a venture capitalist friend of mine who I just use as a proxy. He proxies all my investments and stuff for me. And he said, look, MM, you need to, there's this master class coming, you know what I'm saying? And I know you use me as a proxy, but it probably benefits you to sit in this master class and learn this stuff and maybe get a little bit more out here with me. And we can handle some of these. I have a wonderful life. I have a beautiful life. You know what I mean? But I enjoy gaming. Gaming adds joy to that. It doesn't create joy that isn't there. It just adds to the amount of joy that I already have. I don't need to do this. I'm not trying to get views. Every penny that you guys give us, we give back to you to show our appreciation. We just appropriate it, do it in giveaways, all the other stuff to show our appreciation for you helping to help the platform grow. Here, thank you. I don't have to do this. So I don't take this from an approach of how do I keep up my views? How do I keep up my views? How do I keep up my views? As a matter of fact, in 2002, I made an active decision in doing something that I knew would stifle my views. Because I still wanted to be available as a resource for those that wanted to reasonably use the information that we have, but I didn't want to be involved in all the muck. And what I saw today was a very abysmal sign for the state of the community as we problem solve these issues. That's why the title is what it is. We are our own worst enemy. This clearly is a cloud gaming issue that should have all of us band together and go to Ubisoft and ask what the hell is going on. And now once again, we are entertaining Stadia is dead. They ain't getting no more AAAs. Google's pulling the plug. I can't make this shit up. Excuse my friend. I can't make this shit up if I wanted to. What in the F is going on here? I don't want no parts of this. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I may here and there address some things as far as like if I see some silly stuff here, and I may do it if I see some unsuspecting people, you know, that clearly are new or whatever, being harassed with it. But I'm done. We're gonna do our shows. We're gonna do SLS featuring MM2K. We're gonna do SSC. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna be coming Thursday. We're still gonna do weekly update. I'm still gonna give my opinions on stuff. But as far as being that staunch warrior that addresses the misinformation, like y'all are bringing the y'all are inviting the vampire in the house. Look, the vampire can't help. They gotta drink blood in order to survive. They can't help it. That's what they are. They are what they are. You don't have to invite them in the damn house. I'm done, man. I'm done. Check me out, MM2K Gaming. You know what I'm saying? MM2K Gaming, we gonna be playing these damn games, Season 10, Division 2. You know what I'm saying? Cyberpunk, we getting back into that. Shit, I might even throw some more World War Z in there. I'm done. Check us out on StadiaDosage stream, StadiaDosage Plus. Check out our article spotlights where we, you know, spotlight the articles and I give my takes on them and all the other stuff. But yeah, I'm done. Y'all fight this foolishness out here and entertain and silly stuff. I'm done. I'm done. Truly. Repulsive. And yeah, that might be, oh my gosh, MM2K, what do you, yeah, repulsive. On not the things that were being said, but the reaction to them. Repulsive. I'm geared up, getting ready to, yo, Ubisoft, what is the deal? And y'all, we sitting there arguing, we sitting there with comments from 2020. I'm done, bro. I'm done. The last thing I'm going to comment for maybe the unsuspecting gamer here. Let's put this up here. And I do want to comment as far as like developers possibly losing money. Yeah, I mean, it's business. Are there I'm not doubting there's not examples out there that developers have went to invest on Stadia and they've lost money. I've talked to so many developers and they've given me their horror stories on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, where they've lost money there. And those are major platforms. It's a business. That's the risk you run into. That's why I said the conversations are silly. But the motif that more people are in a bad situation than they are in a good one, no. Every developer that I talk to isn't one that you've seen me on air with or seen me with publicly. Trust me, I've talked to a lot of people, some that we just couldn't get on the show, but I built up a good rapport with. From the developers that I talk to and from the ones that you see me with publicly, more are enthused and more are benefiting from the Stadia experience than they are not. They are not. So it's just silliness. I mean, yeah, I can get on the mic and say anything. Well, you know, it's horrible. You know, everybody that develops for the Stadia gets the Black Plague. Their kids disappear. food doesn't digest. I can get on the mic and say anything. Where's the proof? We've shown you the proof. So outside of being entertained, why are you entertaining that? And then bringing it to me. Guess what was said here? What do you have to say about it, MM2K? You want to know what I got to say about it? Get the hell out my face. That's what I got to say about it. Get the hell out my face. And I'm putting it nicely that way. Get out my face. This is stupid. This is ridiculous and stupid. The amount of disappointment that I have right now, I can't even explain it. I'm trying, this would have to be sound off where I'm allowed to swear in order for me to convey the amount of disappointment that I have right now. I'm just disgusted. And at the end of the day, there's still the possibility that after all this, Mirage still could become a Stadia. And all this would have went down. That's the ridiculousness of all this. I'm done. I don't have it. I don't have it to keep playing 51st dates. My real ones, they show up. My members, shout out to my members. Y'all names are scrolling at the bottom. I love y'all. Thank y'all for the support. We're making big things happen for y'all. Y'all making this a better platform for everybody that want to indulge. If you're not a member and you're like, look, I do appreciate the raw MM2K content. I gotta get it. Look, I wish there was another way I can do it. We have to put it behind a paywall because all the drama people and the people that just want to be involved in the muck, they're not even going to pay $1.99. I know that. They're not even going to pay $1.99. And so we made sure that at the cheapest level possible, I don't control YouTube, at the cheapest level possible is $1.99. You get in to become a member and you get that raw uncut MM2K. But again, because you're a member, you're responsible, mature enough to be able to handle it and know what to do with it and equip yourself with it. And I've seen it time after time because those people will DM me. You know what I'm saying? Like a geek to sneak. They'll DM me, look at this fool. That's different. I'm talking about the people that are emotionally distraught. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is Stadia dying? It's dying. They're not getting Mirage, the non-full-fledged game for $50. They're dying, yes. I ain't got time for that. MM2K, preach to me and explain to me why. I've preached to you for hours and decades and years. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. But again, Cowboy, almost all of us own other systems and platforms. This is Alphabet is the rich uncle we all want. People want a uniform gaming platform, but it'll never happen. We prefer one plat over the other. So that's where the backlash is, more so with Ubi, because they were supportive as F since day one. Yeah. They were supportive. Shout out to my spiritual advisor, Clive. He says, here's my thinking. It was blind faith optimism rather than actual knowledge and info. Yeah, I agree. I think, Clive is right on that one, definitely. I can't anymore, man. I can't anymore. Check me out, MM2K Gaming. We're gonna be doing them game streams. I'm still going to be around. But if you were wondering why the content wasn't as pow as it was before, is because we were doing that not to create entertainment only. We wanted to entertain, but we were doing that because we wanted to shed truth to light. And that you would walk away with that informed. And that's not happening. All that's being obtained from that is, MM2K was battling this one this week. Yeah, where's the popcorn? No, that's not what this is about. I'm done. What's up, Stefan? Good to see you, my good friend. He says, what's sad is that people can search this on their own. But and 7, exact, they could search it on their own. But what they do is they just scroll through Twitter and they take Twitter as gospel. or they go through Reddit and take Reddit as gospel. And I get it. We got busy lives and we don't want to, sometimes we take the easiest route out. But a lot of these people be here. They be in the chat. They be engaging. Yeah, MM2K, great stuff. Thank you. And they retain none of it. But they'll tell you verbatim. It's like my mother used to get mad at me. You better finish that homework. You can sit there and walk around here rapping that LL Cool J from beginning to end, but you can't remember to do your homework. It's like I sit here for hours, go over the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, only for you to come back and only recite to me some fictional stuff. You remember that verbatim, but we can't remember anything else that I've told you that was factual. And I get it. The saying goes, the fiction is more entertaining than the truth. I get it, but like I've lost. Like I've discussed it too. I'm geek. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm not saving anybody from anything. Like, Geek and the others, they know, my members know, they could rock out with me and hit me up all the time, because they have taken the education. And it's not MM2K, you're the grandmaster and the overlord. Like there's some stuff that I say that they don't agree with. We show you on Weekly Checkup. Me and Geek the Sneak went back and forth one show, and me and Simpleton went back and forth another show. I love them because they're using their thinking caps. So even though we don't agree, I can respect them and respect the stuff that they bring to me. But this foolery, like, again, I think it's a fathomable conversation to have, even though I don't agree with it. I think it's a fathomable conversation to say, well, I don't see this from Stadia. I don't see that from Stadia. This is missing. I don't know how competitive they're going to be long term. And I don't know how long they're going to make it because of their uncompetitiveness. That I can understand, even though I wouldn't agree with it. But yeah, we're not seeing this. But no, that's not what we're getting. We're not seeing this. We're not seeing that because Stadia is eventually pulling the plug. That's what they want to do. They just don't know how to tell you or want to tell you yet. That's what you're getting instead. And every moment that they can inject that bullcrap, they're going to do it. You just got to understand whether you need to entertain it or not. So those are my thoughts on that. Last thing I want to say too is that Stadia was also referenced as not only releasing so many games a year. So that's why, like, it was an accident. Can I show you guys something? Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I don't know what. All right, so let's do this. All right. So this is a GameIndustry.biz article where it says how to get your game released on Stadia. This came out August 29th, 2019. So this was the format of Stadia since the beginning. It was important for us with Stadia. Hold on, but Stadia business developer Ray Bautista insists that Google is being picky with who it allows in. The team wants its cloud streaming platform to be a curated storefront experience. It was important for us with Stadia that we move from the Wild West that exists in some storefronts today. Batista said, speaking at GameIndustry.biz, investment summit at PAX. Just because the studio has a game idea doesn't mean we're going to allow them to publish the game on our platform. Just because a developer or a publisher releases a game that was a success, we certainly aren't going to allow 10, 20, 50 fast follows to come after that. So what they're saying is, yes, we have a target amount of games each year that we want to release on the platform. That's because it's so that's purposeful. And it's been like that since the beginning. Now, some may argue that in 2022, and statistics show it, that they've probably been a little bit looser in the games that they've entertained. But that's just because of the situation they were in, low charge porting, trying to, really work and broker games under the new system that they have and trying to convince people to get on board that way, right? That being said, it's always to be around this amount, 100 plus games. Because this is a platform that's targeted towards casuals. And statistics have shown us, analysts have shown us, that that casuals at any time may own anywhere, what's the number? Anywhere between, they only buy 2 games a year, or they only consume 2 games a year on average, and they may have in a catalog anywhere between 7 to 13 games. Period. Through a platform's life cycle. So that doesn't equal a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a curated experience, yes, that it was never Stadia's intention to drop like 400 games in a year. Now the types of games, the caliber of the games I get that 100 was supposed to get better and better and better over time. We haven't seen the rest of the games coming out for 2022. You can argue that 2022 may have not been, in some regards, a step up. We get that. But again, I'm looking at the dynamic that I know that they're dealing with, the pivot, and what they're working towards, and it's understandable to me. And I'm enjoying what I got access to. And frankly, there's just not a lot of bangers coming out in 2022 anyway. A lot of things have been pushed back. I mean, what was that? The Warner Brothers game is coming out with Robin and Nightwing and all that other stuff. I would like to have access to that, but it doesn't look like we're getting that. But we'll see if we get other stuff. But it was always supposed to be curated content. And that is the allure. If you know that you don't have to buck up against, let's just say, 6,000 games that were released on Steam in a particular year, and you got a good game, your game has more oxygen and can survive and actually do well for you over on Stadia. That's a positive. That can't be argued as a negative. If you like to play more than 100 games a year, okay, that's a negative, but you're on the wrong platform. And I circle back to, people gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people here that are miserable. And gaming is not a hobby of misery. But they won't, I was miserable with Xbox. What did I do? I turned to Dirk Griggity. I said, it's time, bruh. Get you a damn Xbox show, tear it up. Gave him the keys, went about my business. Y'all need to hand the keys over to somebody else that's enthusiastic about the platform and boost up what you are happy about. Like just sitting here and dampering about state. To me, that's a pathetic man's game to just be sitting there. Everything that you gotta say is like there's so many other platforms out there. You gotta let it go. Like the gaming is to be entertaining and fun and jovial. If everything that you have to say about a platform is pessimism, and that's 80% of what you talk about, that's a you problem. I don't want to be involved. I don't want no parts of it. I'm sorry. So the platform is what it is. And there's a lot of signs of that from early on that y'all weren't paying attention to. That's on y'all. Now that you're educated, you gotta make more sound decisions. But the notion that developers are getting, for the most part, developers are getting slaughtered on the platform, there's no evidence of that. And if there is, show it. Put it out there. There's evidence to the contrary all over the place. Also, as far as the curation of games, that's what the platform's always been doing, and that is a benefit to a gamer or a game developer who maybe have a good game but doesn't have the marketing, whatever, to get his game to be premiered at the top. Just bring it to Stadia. It's likely to get more shine. If it's not a good game, Stadians ain't going to play it. No gamer's going to just play a bad game just because it's there. At mass, they're not going to do it. And lastly, look, you ain't got to be happy about the platform. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to like the strategy, but we ain't got to lie to kick it. Stadia's not lying to anybody. As far as games being released in the pipeline, that's up to the devs for the most part. And the devs aren't sitting there saying, oh, let's evenly spread these out so Stadia's pipeline looks good for this publication and that. No, they're going to do what's best for them. For whatever reason, a slew of them, from what I understand, took their games, moved them to a different time of the year, which presumably is towards the end of the year. And that's when most of these games are coming out. Now, is it possible they don't reach 100? Because some of them may have decided at the end of the day, you know what? We're going to push these games to 2023. Who knows? But as far as them nefariously removing all signs that the games that they promised 100 games, no. This been sitting pretty since February. And trust me, if their job was to admit it, they would have been found that. How do I know? Because I know. See, this is what happens when you don't just shoot from the hip and you don't destroy bridges, but you build them. I know conversations were had about that accusation and this post still being out there. I repeat, clip this. I know about conversations that were had about that same accusation, and the response was like, well, oh my, this is still out here. What are they talking about? Clip that. Don't ever put what I do and the silliness on the same level as far as it comes to research and facts. I don't care how big the group being compared to is. And on that same vein, I saw earlier the moniker is it's difficult to understand from someone that I respect, but they're wrong here. I don't understand how people can see something from an established publication and question it. This is why. This is why. People make mistakes. And sometimes people get so emotionally involved with something and say, yes, I get to prove my point. Yes, that they don't do their due diligence. They don't cross every T, dot every I, and look thoroughly for stuff. That's a newfound, what's the word I'm looking for? That's just, I don't want to say pandemic. That's just something that's constant now with modern day journalism. People are trying to prove a point instead of report a story. And when they feel like they get, when they find like they got something, they don't kick the tires on it. And they're going to keep doing that. This ain't the first time and this ain't going to be the last. You can control what you absorb. So, all right. Last piece of information that I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on is, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this is from John Linneman. I thought this was interesting. And I may get more brutal about this in an episode of Sound Off. But John Linneman of Digital Foundry put this out there. He said, so in that fanbite interview with Reggie, he suggests this nonsense. Why do people keep banging this drum? Cloud streaming equals inferior home experience and useless to poor mobile experience. No more enjoying games on planes or public transport. Glad he's not in charge any longer. And he's talking about a snippet from where Reggie Fils-Aimé, I believe it is, says that he wants to see more and more games being played in the cloud. I don't know about airplanes. Maybe somebody can inform me on that. I've never tried to play a cloud game in the sky. And I imagine, there may be things like little Wi-Fi's in the sky. I don't know. I don't fly often. I've taken like maybe 6-7 flights in my entire life. I don't fly often. That being said, he's wrong. And again, these major figureheads that say these things that don't do their research. Like, I stopped driving because I can play Madden on my phone and my wife can do the driving and I don't skip a beat. Which that requires precision because you snap you got to pass the ball at the right time, whatever. Madden is not some game that you could just play with any type of latency or lag. You'll get destroyed. So I'm playing these tough Madden games while my wife is driving, sometimes through spotty mobile networks. And, I just find it interesting that John picks up this cue when his own team did a review of the 3080 tier and they said it was damn well a flawless experience in their book. Now, were they saying this just to slight Stadia? Because how can you create such a review, but then have this belief system that all the cloud gaming is just useless? That's why I made that accusation earlier. I think it just made them feel good that they could sit there and praise a cloud platform and it wasn't Stadia. Because when Stadia, all around had the better performance, there was always questions about this, questions about that. But then when there were things that they could definitely peg better for GFN with the 3080 tier, cloud game, this is great, this is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? But what do y'all think about that? Let me know. Do y'all think that John is a dinosaur that just gotta let it go, or he's on to something? What do y'all think? Cloud gaming is just makes gaming worse. Let me know. N7 Spectre says, I've played in the airport but not tried it on a plane Wi-Fi yet. Okay. Plane I would sue would be terrible. Airport was perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, I've never played cloud gaming on a plane. Okay, so you can't do cloud gaming on a plane. Whoop diddly do. That's just one place. You know what I mean? And that's where, if you got a phone, you just, you do some mobile gaming. All right? That's all. And I get it. And things in that regard might get better, but I just think it's a shame to see tech people this detached. And this is why we question journalists, because they have mind states like this and they're human. And humans make mistakes. So I don't know, no journalist is above reproach. No journalist cannot be questioned. I get questioned all the time. You know what I mean? And the proof that we need journalists is sitting right in front of you, because if we didn't need them, I wouldn't be here. There would be no StadiaDosage if we didn't need fact checkers rather. So, all right, so that's where we're at, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, but this is a milestone moment. I'm not gonna keep fighting silly battles. And even this battles is going through as it's going on right now. Like, y'all have the information equipped. Anybody that's trying to make this a Stadia is dying thing can easily be silenced and shut up by you pointing to the other cloud platforms that are affected and you just telling them we should be banding together as gamers to address Ubisoft. They did it over there. They get all vile and vicious and all this other stuff, threatening each other with guns. They do that. They can do that over there. We're just whiny over this. Let me give you some truth. We're just whiny, sensitive over here, and it's to our detriment. And like I said, we're our own worst enemy. That's why I titled it the way that I did. With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all so much that support the platform. It's just we had to have an honest discussion. And again, if you're fearful, oh, MM2K, I don't want to lose, anymore. Join us at the member family. Geek will let you know. Everybody let you know, man. We keep it raw over there. What's up, Lo-Fi in the house? I miss Lo-Fi. Sean will let you know. Lo-Fi will let you know, man. We keep it real raw over there, man. As we should. I ain't got time to entertain. I'm not gonna do it anymore, and I'm not gonna make excuses for people. Oh, well, they don't know any better. No, you know better. You're adults. You just want to be part of this muck. Go ahead and be part of it, man. Go get all soiled up and messed up. I don't want no parts of it. All right. So with that said, I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. And until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.